Language not being a barrier. I'm sitting here with Riteish, who has now become a director himself and directed in Marathi. Where regional cinema is concerned, when we speak about I think the biggest success we've seen in the recent past is Kantara, a man who's, as Suresh sir was telling us backstage, he lives very short the film. He's gone back and taken people back there to shoot a film, tell the story about a rooted part of his culture, and the country and the world has embraced it. So Ritesh, I wanted to ask you, what kind of skills and technology do you need eventually to be able to actually take a story that is based in Maharashtra, to shoot it here, to make sure that the audience, even in Telangana, enjoys it, the audience in Punjab enjoys it? How do we break this language barrier? How do we break this cultural barrier that I think perhaps a Kantara has done so well in the recent past? Because Bahubali is still a mythological story in that sense. Pushpa is still the angry young man coming to the fore with the core emotion. But the cultural stories that we want to listen to, we want to understand, and we want to really respect, how can we take that to the entire nation?
First of all, thank you so much for having me over here. I want to thank Honorable CM Sir, Deputy CM Sir, for organizing this wonderful global summit, and to have great minds here, and to feel that I was capable to sit here. First of all, thank you so much. My journey started from Hyderabad. I'm happy to say that I'm a product of Hyderabad. My first film, Tujhe Meri Kasam, where Genelia and me, both of us debuted, was produced by Shri Ramoji Rao. And everything I learned, my first experience about filmmaking, was from here in Hyderabad. I learned about work ethics. I learned about how films are made. I learned about how people are treated. I didn't know anything about filmmaking. But my foundation itself was so good in terms of dealing with people who are so professional, so respectful, and so inclusive. That is one thing that Hyderabad really inculcated in me as a person, and I'm extremely proud to carry it with me for the last 22 years as an actor, a producer, and now as a director. Talking about, I have, Genelia and me, primarily we have produced Marathi films. That's where the language that I'm born in. It's an industry. When you talk about Indian film industry, it started with a Marathi man, Dadasaheb Phalke. And one man's vision in Mumbai, and when we spoke last time that, industry, a lot of people from all over the country came, and it became like a pot boiler for filmmaking. It became a hub. It became something much more important, much more like an ambassador to cultures. And it has, like Shyam Babu said, it is practically the biggest influencer that we have world over. And when we talk about cinema, primarily, I'll come to what you said about Marathi films being made. Yes, regional films, some industries have struggled and gained success and became big global phenomenon like Telugu, like Tamil. Hindi was already a hugely successful industry, and they are the main drivers. But when we look at Marathi industry, primarily because it comes from state of Maharashtra, where we already have an existing Hindi film industry. So when it comes to choices, in Maharashtra, people's first choice is always a Hindi film. The second choice is a Marathi film. So when a Marathi film becomes the second choice, it is extremely important that you have less chances to attract that audience. Then you have to be very sure what kind of films you're making, how can it be culturally rooted. Like Arvind sir said that, it's important to go local. And of course, if you are connected with local, emotions will connect, and eventually global will happen. But if you're not local, if you don't connect with the people's heart, nothing's going to translate on big screen or influence people's minds. Yes, I agree that as an industry, when we look at what's happening in the summit here, or the proposition of cross-cultural boundaries being erased, that is very important. Why is this more or very exciting? Is because it will be a hub not only for Telugu industry. We are talking about a hub for all India, or people from all over the world to come here and interact with each other. and see what we can give each other, what we can learn from each other. It's very important that we have a place, and unfortunately, even in Maharashtra, or Mumbai, we have very fragmented places where we shoot. We don't have an interactive or integrated city as such that can really inculcate talent, nurture a future generation, and help each other excel. Sir said that like A.R. Rahman sir said, it's not about giving something that's good. How do we excel? And if each of us tries to excel in what we do, we will create a global product. And that is what we need to really teach people. And I truly believe that skill sets are the most important part of this industry. And primarily, when we talk about, slightly off, but in our industry, a lot of people think working on the job is learning. And it is. I'm not saying that. It is. Be it production, like production is such an important aspect of it. But we need institutes to teach people how to produce movies, how to manage people. We think, okay, one person joins the film, he learns the ropes, and we have the grades. Of course, I'm not denying that. But if we teach all these things professionally in an institute, then we'll have far more superior talent coming in and making things better, making things more easier, streamlining things for us to excel in. And that does not mean production. I'm talking about even direction, every aspect of it. That is something that we really need to, as skill sets, really develop. And when we talk about Marathi films, I've of course worked in Hindi films and producing and directing Marathi films. I think erasing the regional boundaries is very important, but at the same time upholding your cultural values, where we each have our own inherent cultural values that we can come together, that we can impart with each other, collaborate with each other, and it's give and take. That's what I think, and this is the place that promises to be that, and we are very excited to see what future for cinema holds, starting from Telangana.